I greet you in the universal greeting of peace in the name of the most loving, the most compassionate. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. I want to start off by talking about two concepts, that of interconnectedness and about divine design. When we suffer, as we suffered now with COVID, this has been a global pandemic, and something of this scale could never have happened for no reason. There had to be something, some lesson that came here for humanity. And if we look at the small organism, it doesn't care about race, color, creed, status. All of this doesn't matter. So what is the lesson that we learn here? We learn that we are all one humanity. We are all interconnected. The second concept is that of divine design. One of the things we've learned from this very, very small organism is that it brought the greatest nations to their knees. So as much as we as mankind think we are great and we're wonderful, there's something far, far greater than what we are. And it shows that we are part of a great design. So we as humanity are all interconnected and we're all part of a greater design. And this is one of the greatest lessons which we can take out of COVID. The third thing I'd like to talk about is suffering. As human beings, we just geared not to want to suffer. We'll do everything with every fiber of our beings not to suffer. No one wants to suffer. And paradoxically, it's only through suffering that the greatest lessons are learned. It's only when we suffer that we are humble enough for our egos to melt. And as the Sufi teachings teach us, it's only when the ego, which clouds your mirror inside of you, is cleared that you reflect the divine light. So suffering, as much as we don't want it, is part of life and it's inevitable. In the Quran, in Surah 2, verse 155, the most merciful, the most compassionate says, "Be sure we will test you with something of fear, with something of hunger, the loss of goods, lives, and the fruits of your toil. But give glad tidings to those who persevere." And later in verse 286, the most merciful, the most compassionate says, "On no soul doth God place a burden greater than it has the strength to bear." And in verse 139 of Surah 3, he says, "So lose not hope or fall into despair, for you must gain mastery if you are true in faith." And I'd like to end off in the words of the 12th century Sufi mystic Imam Rumi, who said, "Where the heart breaks, that's where the light enters." So to all of you whose hearts have broken or whose hearts are breaking, may the light enter. May you come out of this better, more beautiful human beings, and may we as humanity come out of this more loving, more compassionate, more kind. Assalamu alaikum. May peace be upon you.